Shalom, shalom. I'm the brother Marakab. But first and foremost, I want to give all praises and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rukat Kudash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and the Akim out there that pushing this truth with nothing but sincerity. So if I didn't say double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone. And today, I typed in what does it mean to sacrifice according to the Bible? It says, in the Bible, sacrifice is giving something valuable to God as worship, atonement, or thanks, evolving from Old Testament animal offerings for just burnt sin piece, for covering sins and showing devotion to the New Testament concept of Yahweh's single perfect sacrifice, then to believers offering their lives, living sacrifices through service, obedience, and giving up worldly things for eternal purpose. It signifies a heart condition of devotion and trust, focusing on the inward change rather than just outward ritual. Yeah, see, so to make yourself a sacrifice, though, I just gonna make this video because there's a thing going on with the family and things like that where you know it's just that this person doesn't want to do a sacrifice though, and I'm not saying just it's just literally like it's like a sacrifice where you know um they're comfortable where they're at right now, and the thing is though is like they don't want to sacrifice, and someone right now is paying the price though because they're not sacrificing though, I'm just gonna put it that way though, and it's affecting the people around them, it is stuff that's going on with my family though, not my household though, but my family though. And the thing about it though is it's like, damn, they can't even sacrifice to where, what I'm saying? Why? Because they're comfortable. They want to continue to have their lifestyle and have money though. And that's it. You know what I'm saying though? So it's like, man, you're not thinking about the person that you're affecting though. Because I came across this is the reason why I'm not even working right now. Because I had to do a sacrifice though, where my mom couldn't, my mom, she's up in age, but not really though. But she's not like, she's like 50 something though, you know what I mean? She's still working and shit. Typical Issachar, But to be working and taking care of my kids though, and the thing about it though is like, it would be too much, even though she'll tell me, yeah, but it'll be too much for her, It'll be like it'll be a burden, but she'll say it wouldn't be though, because my woman and I was working, Well, I'm not working though, but she is though, you know. And the thing about it though is, I literally had to leave my job though, because it was like either the kids or a job though. But I'm like, you motherfuckers know what I'm gonna pick though, So that's why I'm not working right now, because and it's not a sacrifice though that I made though, but you could call it like a worldly sacrifice where it's like, I'm not gonna do that to my mom and shit though. So, put all my my kids for her to take care of and shit though, So the thing about it though is that I had to leave that job though, and my woman has to handle the business though, financially and shit though. But, this is Babylon for you, And the thing about it though is they didn't want to work with me though. So I left that motherfucker though, man. So, I'm in a process right now of working with them too though, again though, but see if they put me in afternoon shift though. So now I just gotta do a test though, and if it comes out good though, which I know it should though, then I should be good with them, But anyways though, so the thing is though is a sacrifice, needs to be done though, and everyone knows that they need to do a sacrifice though. But the thing is they're not doing it. You know what I'm saying though? I believe financially they're good though. You know what I'm saying though? But why, humble yourself to where you don't have to be paying a big like a house or something, or go to an apartment though and live there, man. Why you gotta have a house though? Why you get and things like that though. I'm not saying I'm against people getting in the houses if they can and do it though. So but at the same time though, it's like putting someone through all that though, so you can live comfortable and shit, man. That shit ain't right. You know, the family knows though, but they just no one's speaking up though. And I'm not going to either though, because the thing about it though is, they're not gonna change though. So, and what can you do? What can you do? They don't want to. They're hard headed and shit. Can't do nothing about it though. So here we are. And that's the thing about it though, man. So now that's something that's going on with family and shit, right? Though, but in this truth though, you got to do a sacrifice too, man. You know what I'm saying though? Like, show your devotion to Yahweh Shemel Shai. Like, what are you doing? Are you putting up videos? Are you camping though? Well, lately we haven't been camping because the fog though, man. So Lord will, let's see tomorrow if it's not foggy, we could go out and camp though. You know what I mean though? But when we make our body a living sacrifice, is we're out there. The elder Malcolm from Chicago. What does he say though in his intro? Well, let's call it intro. But when he opens up though, he says, "Making our body." I forgot how he says it. But it's something to do with we risking our life out there. And it's the truth though. Because we're out there preaching though. We're out there making our bodies a living sacrifice though, because we sometimes like we're sick though, or we're tired we just got off work though. You know what I'm saying though? Or there was something that you had to do that day or something to do, but you put that to the side because damn well, not damn well, but you got to preach though, go out to camp, brothers be preaching on Saturday or Sunday, and those are the days that, whatever family time, whatever the case be though. And we can't go this weekend out to Disneyland because, damn well, I camped this weekend, and you know what I'm saying though? So it's a going to camp, the gas you got to put in though, financially though, hey, so you got to sacrifice a lot of things, man. When you got out there in camp though, your life, you're putting yourself out there in the highways and byways, in danger though, so it's just type of things like that makes you a living sacrifice though, but when we look at it though is, hey, Yahweh Shai gave up his life though, man, for us Israelites though. You know what I'm saying though? For us Israel, he is for Israel, but mainly the elect though, So if you're of the elect though, you're gonna be out there preaching, you're gonna be making videos though, and things like that. You know what I'm saying though? So if he gave up, his life though, you know what I'm saying though, for us though, you know what I'm saying though? You know what I'm saying? Because it meant so much though when he gave up his life though, because he gave it up though, because why? Because it was ordained for him to do so. Of course, he had a moment in the Mountain of Olives, but he had to go through that. I mean, imagine what he went through though. You can't tell me any man wouldn't want to go through that. Many men will run away from that if they knew that they were going to get crucified the way Yahweh Shai did though. Many men would run away from that. You know what I'm saying? But Yahweh Shai, that's what I'm saying. The respect, man, the humbleness of Yahweh Shai, that he still stayed though, and he had to fulfill prophecy though, man. And that's a real man though, So he died. He literally died. His blood was shit though, for us though. And we can't go out and do the work though. You know what I'm saying though? Spread the word though. You know what I mean? And then the fact that we have to put respect in his name, but call him by his name though, Yahweh Shai, not no fucking Jesus though. But you other motherfucking Israelite camps can't even call him by his real name, but gotta call him by this Caucasian ass fucking name named Jesus though. Man, that's why you motherfuckers gonna get destroyed though for that, man. Because the fact of the matter is, he shed his blood though, and now he was just like, oh, he shed his blood and that was it though, man. But you gotta think about it too, man. You know what I'm saying though? We don't have to do animal sacrifices though. You know what I'm saying though? Because if we had to go to do it old school way or Old Testament way, we would have been fucked though, man. Because where are we gonna get these animals? Where are we gonna sacrifice them at? You know what I'm saying though? We don't got no temple though. You can't every time we gotta, oh, we did a sin though. Ah, man, that's a sin right there. I gotta go get a goat and shit, a scapegoat. You know, that'd be hard, man. So that's why Yahweh Shai, that because if it wasn't for Yahweh Shai, we all be fucked, man. We all be dead, man. What is what is the iniquity? The stacking of the stacking of transgression, though, man. Iniquity, man. Sin after sin, though, man. And then what is the wages of sin? Death. So Yahweh Shai is life, though, man. But you see, you can't even go out there, man, or make videos and things like that because of this and that, though. Because you want to, be comfortable, you know what I mean, though, or because you're comfortable where you're at, though. So you're like, nah, I'll do it later type shit, man. Oh, man, you got this. Why you got to be consistent, though. So let me get a couple scriptures, though, man, because so this is the thing, man. Let's get Romans 12, though. Romans 12:1, it says, let me get highlighted real quick. Romans 12:1, it says, I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of Yahweh, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto God, which is your reasonable service. You see, and the thing about it, though, is you can't even make your body, your temple. You're not even what's it called, though, respecting your temple, because you're an Israelite eating pork, though, or committing adultery. How is doing all that acceptable for Yahweh Shema Shai? That's not a reasonable service, though. A reasonable service is you're gonna do the laws and statutes and commandments to the best of your ability. You know what I'm saying, though? Because how are you gonna make yourself holy? You over here messing with dudes, women and shit, and that's not holy, and that's not acceptable to Yahweh Shema Shai, man. Because he said it himself that if you lay eyes on a woman, though, it's pretty much as in you already committed adultery, though, man. You know what I'm saying, though? So this is the same power that's gonna come, though. You know what I mean, though? But you make yourself a living body, present your body a living sacrifice, you know what I'm saying, though? By doing all this, though, man. You know what I'm saying? Being out there and things like that, man. Don't get me wrong. We know we're not perfect. We got our moments, though. But you still got to do a sacrifice, though, man. You see what I'm saying, though? So even though my sacrifice was a worldly one, because, like I said, I didn't want to put that burden on my mother, though, for she works and to take care of the kids, though, just because I want to keep working and shit, though. But here my mom is suffering enough as it is, working at a fucking night job, though, and still had to take care of my kids, though. You know what I'm saying, though? Even though she said she would have been down, though. But I knew, I'm not going to do that, man. You know what I'm saying, though? But that's my sacrifice, though. But I don't consider it a sacrifice, though, man. That's just common courtesy, though. You know what I'm saying, though? A sacrifice is what I was just saying, man. Putting yourself out there, man. Season, what it says in what is it? First Timothy's is it the 4th chapter, though? In season, out season, though. Let me real quick, though. Yeah, here you go. It says, preach the word, be instant in season, out of season, reproof, rebuke, exhort with all long suffering and doctrine. Yeah. So you got to, right now we're out season, though, out of season, because it's not like it's cold, it's cloudy, it's foggy, it's cold, we're out of season right now, but we're still out there because that's what it says, though. Preach the word, though, in season, out of season, though. You know what I'm saying, though? Reproof, rebuke, exhort with all long suffering. You can go and do what you got to do, man, even if you got off a 12-hour shift, though. And doctrine, you go, and we do this through these videos, though, man. You know what I'm saying, though? Because it says, for the time will come when they will not endure sound doctrine, but after their own lust shall they heap to themselves teachers having itching ears. You see? And right now we got to give the sound doctrine, though, because there's many Israelite camps out there that are deceiving our people, man. And now we're not saying that we're trying to save all Israel, but hey, man, if it wasn't for Great Millstone and the apostles and down, like correcting and rebuking, though, season, in season, out of season, who else is gonna do it, though, man? You know what I'm saying, though? Ain't nobody putting in work like GMS though, man. And that's the thing about it though, man. So if it wasn't for these great men though, you know, it would have been no sound doctrine, man. There would if it wasn't I'm gonna say it like this: if it wasn't for Great Millstone, there would have been no sound doctrine right now, man. Everybody would just be in vanity though, man. Believing this, want to believe a little bit of that from that camp, want to believe this about this camp, what they're saying. It would just be madness though, man. So that's why, we got to be, in season, out of season. Because if we slip, we slipped over something, though, man. Hey, man, like we got to be consistent, though, man. Put pressure, because if not, man, who else is gonna do it, you know? And that's the truth, man. 5, look, because I'll go down to 5. It says, "But watch thou in all things, in their affliction." It's not gonna be an easy walk. "Do the work of an evangelist, make foolproof thy ministry." By what? Going out there, preaching the word, making these videos and things like that, man. You see what I'm saying, though? So you put yourself, many brothers have lost family, jobs, women. You know what I'm saying, though? All that is enduring the affliction, man. That happened to you, but you keep pushing, though, man. You see what I'm saying, though? And like I said, in this truth, though, I lost jobs, though, man. It's nothing new to me, though. It's like I'm already desensitized to it, though. Yeah, my family feels it, though. But in reality, my family don't even feel it, though. My woman might, whatever, she, how women are and shit, oh, this and that. Okay, but I really don't care. But then I see my kids, though. They'll be like, but they still have a roof over their head. They're still eating, though. They still got clothes and shit, man. They still got a way to move around town and shit, man. You know what I'm saying, though? So in reality, when this happens to me, though, when a job and shit or something, though, my kids' reality don't even feel it, though, because they're still being taken care of from Yahweh Shemel Shai. You know what I'm saying, though? Yeah, I'm the one that's enduring the affliction. I'm the one feeling it, though. But at the same time, they don't, man. Because I look at them and everything, though, man, and they're still good, man. It's like if I didn't even lose my job, though, man. Yeah, my woman holding it down, having a job. She's the one that, all this stuff, though. But then I look at my kids. I'm like, nah, you know what? They good, man. But they good because of Yahweh Shemel Shai. Because I lost my job. I could have lost this apartment, though. Could have, a long time ago, man. You know what I'm saying, though? So that's the thing about it, though, man. But it's just a sacrifice that I had to do, man. And many brothers do sacrifices, though, man. I'm just one of many brothers, though, man, who do it, so, man. But the thing is, with the family, my family, it's like, man, they don't know what it is to sacrifice, man. Why? Because they're fucking comfortable, man. And we and it says in the scriptures, which I'll just get this last one, though, we got to be like pilgrims, though, man. Is it 16? Yeah, let me get it real quick. Oh, what was that one? 2nd Ezra 16 and 40 says, "O my people, hear my word, make you ready to thy battle, and in those evils be even as pilgrims upon the earth." Yeah, because many evils are coming, though, man. So we gotta fucking move around and shit. There's gonna be plagues, it's gonna be Jacob's trouble, destruction, and it's just gonna be a whole disaster. So we can't be comfortable in the position that we're even at right now. You know what I'm saying, though? Because we're gonna lose this shit, man. And the thing about it, though, and I always think about this, though, regardless, though, of what you have, you're still gonna fucking lose it, though, man. Because even if, I'm talking about substances, I'm talking about substances. Like your cool ass car that you got 2 years ago, your badass Corvette, whatever, or your 5-bedroom house and shit, you're still gonna lose it, though. Because if it ain't financially wise, though, it's missile wise, though. So the thing about it, though, is regardless if, like, you're still gonna lose the shit that your substance that you have, the fucking shoes on your feet, though, man. You probably gonna lose those shits, though, man. You know what I'm saying, though? Like, ain't your shirt on your back though, you're gonna lose that shit, man. So why get so attached to it and get comfortable where you be at though, you know? So, I just want to make this quick video, Hopefully it was exhorting though, and like I said, man, we gotta do sacrifices though, man. We really do though, man. Sometimes, I feel bad sometimes, but I camp though, sometimes I can't go financially because, my car and, where I meet the brothers at though. But the brothers understand though, But it's sometimes where, hey man, fuck, that's what I got. I gotta make a sacrifice over here during the week though, in order for me to have gas in my car, So that's the thing about it though, man. So it's always a sacrifice though, man. So you don't realize though, how many sacrifices that you be doing and shit, man, that other people in the world wouldn't be able to handle, man. You know what I'm saying though? Always trying to get a reaching handle, man. You see what I'm saying though? And that's the thing about it though, man, because I had another thing happen where one of my family members too, he never asked for money and shit, You know what I mean? And I'm not putting him on blast though, This is just another thing though, But this is nothing against him, my other family member though, He asked me for some money and shit and things like that. I told him, hey, I just got this, bro. So pretty much when I'm giving you something, and you be asking it as in like, let me borrow it though. But if I'm giving it to I'm giving it to you like if I'm letting you borrow it though in your mind, but in reality it's like I'm giving it to you, because the thing about it though is you give something though, man, and you're just like, hey, like it just matters who you're giving it to, like. I mean, you give it to who you want to give it to, at the end of the day, though, But, if a nigga that he asks you for $1,000, though, and, like this nigga don't even pay you back, though, and he's probably done it to other people and to you in the past and shit, you're going to be like, you're going to be iffy about it, Like, nigga, do I really, like, nigga, I need $1,000. That's, even though, let's say you're financially good, though, but $1,000 is like, nigga, you just. Like, you're pretty much stealing from me, man. If I give you $1,000, I'm literally letting you steal from me right now. Those type of people, But I mean, if you someone that and you trust, though, hey, man, so be it, though, man. And that's the thing, though, But anyways, with this, like I said, family member, I told him, hey, I could let you just borrow this, though, And he goes, that's fine, And he gave me a couple days, though, whatever, though. And I messaged him yesterday, and I was just like, hey, man, just keep it, bro. And he's like, oh, this and this and that. I'm like, nah, just keep it, man. Like, we good over here, man. Don't even worry about it, So they won't have to be this awkwardness or you trying to duck me. Like, nah, just keep it, man. Like, at the end of the day and shit, like, I don't care, Because that's how you move, gotta move and shit, man. Because, man, it's crazy out there, man, in the world, though, because there be people losing a relationship with a brother or with an old friend, childhood friend, over $20, man. You're like, this nigga owe me $20 though. You know what I'm saying? And he'll pretend like he don't owe me. I mean, don't get me wrong, man. There's motherfuckers out there though that think that you could let them borrow $20 though and be like, I ain't gonna pay this nigga back. With the mentality like that. You know what I'm saying though? And then you get all iffy about it though and things like that though, and you're like, what the fuck is that with that, man? You just gonna steal me with $20 though? But that's a lesson learned for anybody though, man. It's like you let this person, borrow $20 though, and that person never paid you back though. It's like what they're saying, a snake when it bites you, expect it to bite you, man. It's a fucking snake, man. And with the person like that though, that let you borrow, you let them borrow $20 and they pay you back. Learn from that and be like, that's the last time I let this guy borrow money though, You just learn from that, man. And you don't let it ruin a relationship like that. But even if you should, like, like me personally, I wouldn't be around a person like that, man, that is just shiesty like that, man. Like, nigga, I could steal from you. You know what I mean, though? Because a man of the Lord, though, wouldn't do that to another man of the Lord, though. You know what I'm saying, though? You're gonna, like, you're gonna be like, man, I owe this brother $20, man. Like, I gotta pay this brother back, though, at least something, though. You know what I'm saying, though? You're not gonna just let it slip your mind and be like, whatever, though, man, and let time by, though, man. Because a real brother will be like, feel bad, like, damn, brother, I owe you this money, though. And if the other brother would be like, hey, bro, it's cool. And if he tells you it's cool and you tell him back, are you sure? bro, because, you know, I'm going to try to, like, nah, it's cool. And you just gain yourself a brother, man. More. You know what I'm saying, though? But if it's a shiesty nigga where he just does it to this person, that person, and to you, and that's just the way he is, though, then what I would recommend, though, I'm not saying take my word, but what I would recommend is stay the fuck away from a person like that, man. Can't trust a nigga like that, you know? But anyway, like I said, though, man, so anything to do with anything in general, man, shit, you know, you gotta be humble, man. You know what I'm saying, though? You gotta be humble. You gotta know how to sacrifice, though, man. And things like that, though, man. I mean, like when I let the my family member borrow that money, though, whatever, like it wasn't a big money, though, you know. It wasn't a big sacrifice to me. It was just something simple like that, man. Like, hey, man, and the Lord blessed me though just yesterday, or just blessed me just yesterday, though. You see what I'm saying, though? So it's like, man, I didn't really need that money, you know. That's why I told him, hey, bro, keep it, man. So we won't have to be like, or you don't have to. Well, I didn't tell him though, but I just pretty much said, so he won't feel like he has to duck me though. Over $50, man. You know. So with that, hopefully it was edifying though. So with that, I want to say shalom.